are 5 minutes late. We were trying to use a new device tonight, and we'll do that on the next one, not tonight. Hi, welcome to Dixie Belle's Facebook page. I am here. My name is Tracy. My business name is Tracy's Fancy. I'm a brand ambassador for Dixie Belle Paint, and we meet right here on Wednesday nights, every single Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Central Time. I'm coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas, and I am happy to be here, and I'm happy to hang out with you guys for about the next 40 minutes. Please say hello when you come on. Let us know that you're here, where you're tuning in from, and let me know if you have any questions at all while I move forward with my painting project. Dixie Belle is usually here behind the scenes to sort of moderate and find out what's going on, make sure that they don't miss any questions that I miss myself. They will let you know where you can find these products. If you are a retailer of Dixie Belle, we have retailers across the country. If you're a retailer and you would like to let people know where you are, please do so that people can go find a local retailer. If you are someone who sees what we're doing and you want to try it and you want to order it and have it delivered to your door, I've put a link above this video and you can just click that link. It's my affiliate link, and you can order from there and they will ship the products to you. My husband Matt is behind the camera. Y'all say hi to Matt.
Hi guys.
He's behind the camera and will be filming tonight while we work on these chairs. These chairs that are looking beautiful, but they are not fun, you guys. Chairs are, they're a little bit of a struggle because they're a little bit tedious, especially when you are trying to do paint and stain at the same time. Luckily, Dixie Belle products make everything that we do a lot easier. As a matter of fact, Matt was out here watching me today and was commenting about how well these products work together. He's a big, he has I don't know, you've stained a lot of furniture in the past. Lots and lots of sanding. Before I was ever even in the picture, he's done a lot of furniture staining. So he's pretty impressed with how well this stuff works. So we are going to be talking about no paint gel stain tonight. We are also going to be using the new silk line that Dixie Belle has, the new silk line that's got a built-in primer and a built-in top coat to it. So it's kind of like an all-in-one product. It does have a little bit of prep that you need to do though ahead of time, but it's an all-in-one product that you don't have to put a top coat on, and it gives like a silky finish versus the more flat chalk mineral paint finish. So we'll be using that, and I'm also going to be using a primer underneath the silk, even though it has a built-in primer, and I have my reasons for that, and I'll explain that to you. So the other thing we're going to do is some prep work. That's not always fun, right? But it's needed. So I've got my little sanding pad ready to scuff something up. I'm going to take my shoes off here and show y'all what I've already done. So last week, who was with me last week? Who was here? Y'all were with me and we did the big round table. And since then I've done 4 leaves for that round double pedestal table. I've done 4 leaves for it, and we have just 4 chairs to do, or I have 4 chairs to do. So I've completed one. It's right here. This is I have notes. Like every chair is in progress, so I have a note on every chair saying what it needs, what's been done. So that's that one. This one has been completed, except it needs Gator Hide on the seat. Isn't it amazing? This is beautiful. This is what it looks like before. So this is golden oak. This is golden oak that we all have. We've got kitchen cabinets that look like this. We've got end tables that look like this. We have dining room tables that look like this, and we have chairs that look like this. And it's still beautiful, but it gives off a super orangey vibe that a lot of people are kind of over. And Farmhouse is big right now, and a very cleaned up restoration hardware look is really big. And so this is the same chair with just a little bit of love and a little bit of new products. So this is what we're gonna work on. This one is completed. I'm just gonna put 2 coats of Gator Hide on top of this, just like I did the tabletop. If you missed that, you can go see that on my blog at www.traceysfancy.com. And my last Sunday's blog, I have a blog that comes out every Sunday, was the double pedestal table, and it gives you step by step exactly what I did if you missed that. So do you have any questions or comments before I
No question, just a bunch of people tuning in and saying hello.
I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank y'all. Make your question loud and proud if you have a question. So Matt can interrupt my very fast talking.
I'll try to interrupt.
All right. Okay, so this right here was, this chair right here was stripped, sanded, conditioned, stained, primed, and painted. I've touched that chair a lot. It's a lot of work. Chairs are a lot of work, but it's possible and it's worth it. So that is that. And this is the silk paint, you guys, in Endless Shore. This is Endless Shore. And we'll be painting with, well, I don't know if we're going to get to that part of it tonight, but this is Endless Shore. And this is No Pain Gel Stain in Espresso. So the new silk paints come in 20 colors. Yes, you have
Real quick, are you going to put Gator Hide all over that or just on the stain?
Just on the stain. I'm just on the seat. And I did the same thing on the table. I put Gator Hide on the tabletop surface, but left just the silky finish on the chair itself. So just on the seat. So this is a little fan deck of the 20 colors that silk comes in. And it is not available to order online yet. So if you follow my link, you won't find silk to order online yet, but you can get it at an elite retailer. But these are the 20 colors. It's beautiful colors. They've got a lot of neutrals, but they did kind of offer, they are offering is lots of blues, whites, grays, blacks. But then over here we did get into like a bolder, brighter blue, almost like a dusty blue. Kind of got into kind of some, what do you call that? Like whitewashed teal almost look. Very pretty, robin's egg kind of colors, very, very pretty. Those are this is the color deck that's offered. And this one is Endless Shore.
Somebody asked, would you need to strip the seat where the stain is?
Yes, yes. And you don't have to. So let me move this seat out of the way.
So don't, right, is the short answer? Unless you have to.
Yeah, don't unless you have to. And I'm going to talk about that right now. So this is the chair that I've already done. This chair has, the seat was stripped, and I know it doesn't look like it, but it was. There's no finish left on this seat. It's just raw. So we stripped the seat, but it's already been conditioned, and when you condition it, it turns dark again. So it was sanded down, very, very raw looking. The reason we stripped them is because there was a lot of water damage and wear and tear on them, and I had a feeling you can put No Pain Gel Stain right over a factory finish. I could have just stained right over it, but chances are that you're going to your stain, no matter what stain you use, is going, no matter how wonderful it is, you're going to get some blotchiness, and I just didn't want that. I wanted it to be nice and even. So yes.
What'd you do first, the seat or the back?
The seat. So I'm about to tell you right now, all we've done to this chair is stripped this with a stripper. We used a stripper.
I think she meant that chair.
Oh, it's back and forth. Well, the seat first, but I'm going to tell you right now. Follow my steps here. And I'm going to have a blog. This Sunday I'll have a blog, step by step, the whole process if this gets kind of fries your circuits. Be sure to check out my blog. So this seat has been stripped with a stripper, and we got it all off. I cleaned the entire chair in White Lightning from top to bottom. Cleaned it in White Lightning twice, right? I did a shower of White Lightning, wiped it back. Another shower of White Lightning, wiped it back. Getting lots of yuck and stain off on my White Lightning rags. Then I rinsed the whole thing in water, and then I did a wood conditioner on this, just a simple wood conditioner that just soaked in. I put it on yesterday, and then wiped back to make sure I removed any residue. Next step, it's ready to go. So I'm ready to stain the seat here, but there's something that I need to do first. So I am going to show you what that is. Let me think here. Let me show you how to sand the spindles first. Normally, right now, I would go ahead and just start taping off my spindles. I'm going to show you how, because when you do paint against stain, Matt said today, he was like, babe, that's a big job. It's easier to paint the whole chair, or it's easier to stain the whole chair. It'd been a lot easier. When you want to mix the stain with the paint look, you have to be so careful not to get paint on your stain and stain on your paint. It's a lot of extra effort that you have to put in to keep that from happening. But before I do this, I want to show you guys This is the Surf Prep sanding pads that Dixie Belle has. They have them on the website as well, probably under the tools section. What's really good about these, this is a used one.
Well, I guess our video cut out at some point. I don't know if the video feed stopped, I guess. People are saying that you cut out.
Are we back?
So people are signing back in. It says you have 202 people on, which was about right. So I don't know.
It never showed you that it glitched?
Can everybody see and hear right now? Liz Justice says it keeps cutting back out here. Be back for replay.
Aw.
Malia says we're good.
Okay. All right. Malia's on. Hi, honey. Thank you. Okay, so this is the Surf Prep sanding pad. It tells you on the back of each one what they are. I believe they come in medium, fine, and super fine, I think is what they come in. And they're different colors for each one. So this is a new one. This one's, it says medium, but it is like really coarse. But what I like about them is you just wrap it around that spindle and you can just hold it and you just scuff it, just like this. Because I didn't want to sand the whole chair. I just want to scuff it. I did sand the whole seat, but the spindles, I didn't need to. I was going to paint them, not stain them. So I just want to scuff them enough so that I have proper adhesion of my paint, even though I'm planning to use a bonding primer, because even though silk doesn't require you to use a bonding primer, because these are kitchen chairs and they get so much use, especially around here where people grab them and put their hands all over them, and there's a buildup of grime, I just felt like I need to go the extra mile and put a bonding primer on there no matter what paint I was going to be using, the chalk mineral paint or the silk. It's just something that I feel better about with my customer. Okay, so that's that. That's the beauty of these, is that you can just wrap your hands around them. Makes it super easy. It's like a foam. And this just scuffs and gets that shine off, which we're gonna need to do. All right, so then I have tack cloth, which normally I would use a brush to brush this off, but since I did such a small amount, I'm just gonna take this tack cloth that I have, which is like a little bit of a coated cheesecloth.
But there's a lot of people that say that you never cut out, and there's a lot of people that say you've been cut out for the last 5 minutes. So should they log out and log back in?
Yeah, if they're commenting right now,
I don't know.
I'm on. Yeah, if you're having issues, guys, will y'all log out and log back in? I'm sorry that we're having difficulties. Okay. So that's that. All right, so let's stain, okay? I want to stain, but before I can stain, because I'm not going to stain these spindles, I'm going to paint the spindles, I want to protect the base of the spindle so that I don't get stain on it, so that I'm not having to try to paint over dark stain when I'm painting with such light paint. So I just take the small amount of tape and I just wrap it around each spindle, making sure that I don't get it on the seat, but that I have it on the base of the spindle all the way around it, just like that.
Katie wants to know what bonding primer, which one do you like, just Slick Stick?
I'm gonna be using B.O.S. And the reason I don't need Slick Stick on here, because first of all, I scuffed it and it's wood. So Slick Stick is really for factory finishes like Formica and laminates and things like that. This is wood, so a scuff sand for this, you don't really need to do Slick Stick. I'm using B.O.S. though. I'm going to use B.O.S. in gray because it's my favorite stain blocking primer. And because when I was using White Lightning on this, and I've already stripped it, but because when I was using White Lightning and cleaning everything, I was still getting a lot of wood tannin and stain coming off on my napkin. So I just feel like gray B.O.S. is my favorite. It just seems to be what I have the most success with as far as stain blocking. And so that is what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna go that extra step and paint the entire chair in one coat. That's what I did with that one. One coat. I feel like I'm in jail. One coat of gray B.O.S. primer is what I'm gonna use. And then I did two coats of the Endless Shore. And, you know, honestly, I've been just as happy to do drop cloth on that. I would have been just as happy to do the chalk mineral paint and drop cloth, but I really like the feel of that finish, and I like not having to put a top coat on it. I like that part a lot, and I just like the feel. Now, when you're doing this, you guys, I don't know if Matt, I hate for him to move the camera because I don't want it to glitch our video, but I want you to be able to see up close down on the chair how well this is taped. There is nothing touching the seat of the chair. I'm really making sure, because I got lots of practice in already, that the bottom of this tape is just wrapping tight around the spindle only and not on the chair. So that's that, and then we're gonna actually stain. We're gonna stain together. And crazy guys, I got my stain out today, and I think last week when we were working on the table, I told you guys, oh, I'm low on stain. I hope I have enough to finish the project. I said that, didn't I? I did, I know I did. And I was like, oh, I need to order some before next week. Guess what? I did not order any. So I opened my can today, and I was like, oh, gee, oh, we have enough to do a seat.
Elizabeth wants to know what you use to apply your first top coat and how.
My first top coat, you mean which, Elizabeth, will you tell me exactly what you mean, which part? We're talking about so many processes here.
And in the meantime, Shelly wants to know, if you paint it with chalk paint, can you paint with silk over it to change it?
Yes, I did that. I did that on the pedestal table. If you read my blog, you'll see in my steps that I actually tell you the first coat I did was drop cloth, and then I top coated it.
She says flat, Elizabeth.
Flat. She's asking what I used to do the first top coat in flat.
Yes, the first top coat.
Do you mean if I'm
flat
using...
top coat.
What do I use, like a brush? I use a brush. With the flat top coat, I just use a brush. If it's a flat surface, like a completely flat tabletop, always use the applicator pads, guys. The white applicator pads, do y'all know what I'm talking about? Always use those if you have a completely flat surface.
She says brush or sponge.
Brush, I mean sponge. If your surface is completely flat, like you have no edges, no frame, no indentions, these are the best top coat applicators that we have. But very few surfaces that I work on, like if I did this, I'm gonna hit the spindles, so that's not gonna work. So I use this on tabletops. This is great, like on the tabletop. This is what I use this is what I put Gator Hide on with. But otherwise, I would use a brush, and I would use the synthetic, one of the synthetic bristle brushes that you have. That's what I would use. Okay, so I'm ready to stain. So I do have enough stain here. I have my brush that I've already used for the other seat, and I actually stained one of the other seats. And I keep it in a zippy bag because that keeps me from having to throw it away. Because the no paint gel stain is oil-based, so usually after I use it for my chip brushes, I just throw them away. And this is a premium chip brush, so I wanted to stretch it for this whole set. So I just keep it in a zippy bag and it stays. No paint gel stain, you do need to wear gloves because it is oil-based. However, the scrubby soaps will take it right off if you do it right when you're done. If you get oil, the gel stain on your hands, the scrubby soap will scrub it off. So put gloves on. The no paint gel stain comes in 6 colors. It comes in espresso, gray, white, cherry, walnut, and black, I believe. I believe that's right. Am I right, guys? There's 6. And this one is espresso. And I think I have enough because I've already stained 2 chairs, so I only have 2 chairs left, and it doesn't take very much. That coat that you saw on that chair that's finished, that's 1 coat of no paint gel stain. Babe, do you see the opener? I just had it.
I don't see it.
You don't see it? Heck, it was right here. Give me a screw. Oh, here it is. I found it. I found it. Okay, can they see? Because I'm about to apply. This does have a little bit, most of the Dixie Belle products are no VOCs, super low in no VOCs, no odors. That's what I love about them. But no paint gel stain does have an odor. So if you're going to be working on it, you need to have a fan going or a door open or wear a mask. if you're gonna be using it for a long period of time, just to do this chair with you guys. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, here's my brush, and very little in here. I have so little in here. So I'm gonna try to save this. So this seat, like I said, has been completely sanded back. You don't have to do that. The no paint gel stain will go right over a factory finish. And but this one has, my chairs had some wear and tear on them, so I wanted to get them sanded back. So you don't have to, you can go in different directions if you want to. It doesn't matter. You want to get it in there, get it into the grain, and then just right when you're done, go back with the direction of the grain, just like that. Okay, so when I get the spindles, I just kind of work my brush just like that, up against the tape. Come from all directions. It's so much easier. And then as soon as we're done, we're gonna take that off, and then you let it dry, and then you can come back and paint, which I'm gonna paint spindles with you in just a minute and show you exactly what tools I use, show you exactly what brushes I use, and how I do it, and a way to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so now let me turn this around for you guys. And come at it from the back side, just staying low, so I don't get any on those upper spindles. And then I also am gonna do all around the edges. Those have also been sanded. I'm gonna coat that really well. And I don't leave it for a real long time. I think today maybe I left the stain on for about 15 minutes. It wasn't very long. And I came back and then just wiped off. Am I covering that good, Matt? I can't really see over there.
Can you use the gel stain in white on the spindles?
Yeah, you could. It would give it more like it would probably give it a pickled look, I think. But it's not going to give you an opaque look. Am I covered around there, babe?
Well, you missed a little bit towards the front here.
You did?
There you go. Oops, sorry.
Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more because I have some extra, I thought. And you can layer this. What's so great about these, both the no paint gel stain and the Voodoo gel stains. You know, Dixie Belle also has water-based stains as well, and they're gorgeous. The Voodoo gel stains, they're water-based, and you can layer those as well. So you just put a bunch on, let it sit, and if you decide when you wipe it back that you want it darker, then you just put another coat on.
Kathy wants to know if you prepped the underside of the chair.
No, I did not. No, I don't figure the kitty cat or the dogs.
Diane says, I see you're doing different strokes.
Different strokes?
What's up with that?
Different strokes.
Well, I think it was I think she...
From a while ago?
Strokes B, but yeah, different strokes.
Okay, so
I think it's from when you weren't going against the grain, maybe?
Yeah, so what I do, the reason I do that, guys, is when it's been stripped and sanded, the pores of the wood open up completely. And if you end up just going like this, sometimes when you wipe back, you'll see that you didn't get down in all of the grooves of the natural wood grain. So to me, it's fine to go like this. I take it from both directions, just as if you're putting it on with a rag. You see people rub it on with the rag. That way you make sure that you're getting in all the grain. And then you just go back at the end and go in the direction of the grain, just like this.
Can you put an oil-based top coat on chalk?
Yes, you can. You sure can. You can paint and then do an oil base. Yes, I've done it actually. On my blog, I'm trying to think what the name of that table was. It was, if you go to traceysfancy.com and in the search bar, type in white orange cabinet. That should pull up an end table that I did that was white. And on the top of it, I did, I think I painted that, and then I did a no paint gel stain with the wood graining tool over the top of it to do like a fake wood look. I think that's what I did on that one. But yes, you sure can. Okay, so that is that. I'm gonna put this back in my zippy bag so that that's good for me tomorrow when I come back and do the last chair. I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes. And then when I decide to come back to it, I'll take off, I'll rub off. I'm gonna rub this back, take off all the excess, and then I'm gonna take off all my little spindles here and let this dry for a few hours, and then I'll come back and start working on the spindles. So if Matt will remove this chair and bring the other chair over to me.
Okay. Can you, hang on just a second, I got a couple of questions. Can you use silk on wicker?
Anything on wicker needs a bonding primer, so I would use Slick Stick. Wicker, you feel like is natural, raw grass feeling, but I painted wicker years ago without doing it. It will scratch right off. So you'll need to use Slick Stick first, no matter what paint you use.
Can stain go over B.O.S.S?
I don't know that. I've never been asked that.
Trick question.
Clear B.O.S.S? Yes. Why would you put it over white B.O.S.S, right? Do you mean clear B.O.S.S? Yes. If you're wanting to clear B.O.S.S and then stain over that, yes, I think that you can do that. All right, so looky here. This one with its notes. Tape has been removed and primed with a tiny brush and a coat of paint. Okay, so this chair, that's not stained. When the client brought this to me, that was already there, okay? So this chair has been completely cleaned. It has been sanded, and then I stained it, so it's already got the dark stain on it, just like the other chair. And it's funny because this one looks lighter because it's next to this orange wood. However, that one looks darker because it's next to the white paint. This chair looked the same, so it's a trickery on the eye. When you see this now, when I paint this white, when I paint it with the endless shores, this gets that darker, it has a darker appearance. So, okay, so this is stained earlier today, so now let's be ready. We're gonna paint our spindles now, okay? So what I do is I have these brushes. Now I'm gonna start out with B.O.S.S, and you would do the same thing with your paint. I start out with B.O.S in gray, or you could start with paint, whatever you decide you wanna do. And I start with this little brush. So all the brushes that I'm gonna use a tiny angled brush, and I'm going to use a larger angled brush. I'm going to use both of these. The other brushes that I'm going to use are just a bunch of versions of 1-inch brushes. I'm just going to have a bunch with me. This one's older and it's kind of fluffed out, and I like that for my very last coat of silk. I like that a lot. So, but I'm going to paint the entire chair. No sense in using one of your big, Dixie Belle brushes, which are amazing, but you have little tiny circles and spindles. It doesn't make any sense. You need these. This is the trick. All right, so I'm going to start with this little bitty brush. I've got my gray B.O.S.S. I'm going to shake it up really good, and then I'm just going to use what's in the lid because I shook it up and down, and I've got gray B.O.S.S. in my lid, and I've got my little bitty brush. I'm going to get real comfortable and turn on some good music because this is tedious. Put your glasses on if you need to. And I'm just going to go right down here with the point of this brush, and I'm going to go right up next to the seat, just like that. And all I'm going to do is the base part, just right around the base. I'm going to knock that part out. Now, do not do this like this. I'm going to show you what not to do, okay? Do not do this.
What do you mean? Go
and then leave it. Don't do that and leave it. Don't do that and keep going from one spindle to the next. Don't do that and walk away. The reason is you're going to end up with a big ridge like that. Do you see what I did here? I feathered it out before I moved on. So feather out your paint so it's nice and smooth so you can come add to it in a little bit. Don't leave a ridge, okay? All right, so this is the trick. A tiny, tiny little brush with a point on it, so that you can get up close there and not get on your stain. Did anyone see my post on Tracy's Fancy that was like, don't get your chocolate on my peanut butter? Did you get your peanut butter on my chocolate? And I aged myself all the way back from, to like 19, I looked it up.
The 70s, right?
Yeah, that commercial came out. Who remembers that commercial? It came out in 1972. I looked it up. 1972. I was like, oh my gosh, the Reese's peanut butter commercial. And then I was like, weren't they on skates? Wasn't somebody on skates?
Probably.
And my daughter Haley was like, Mom, you have to put your chairs on skates, or you need to wear skates tonight. I actually have a pair of vintage skates that I was going to photograph these chairs with, just because of that comment.
Do you have to use it with silk? Or could it be any other chalk paint?
No, any other chalk paint, guys. This is just what I'm doing. I'm doing this for my client for, whatever these circumstances are. But my techniques that I'm showing you here can be done with any of the chalk mineral paint, any of the silk. Just giving you little tips on the order of how to do it and the brush that I do. So there we go. You see that? Nice and easy, right? Don't forget your sides over here. Just because this is a bigger spindle, you still need to use this tiny little detail brush to get all the way up against there. And this is only because we're going from stain to paint. If we were painting the entire thing, we don't have to do this. We'd be working with a big fat brush and we'd just be painting away. Or if we were staining the whole thing, we'd be wiping it all down with the rag, but we're not. We're doing paint and stain. And it's a lot of extra work, but it sure is pretty when it's done. All right, feather that up. All right, so the next thing I would do is y'all can back up. Now it's all up here and close.
I'm trying to do
You're
it
doing
slowly
good.
so that we
No,
don't
you're
get
doing
cut
great,
off.
babe. So then I get back here on the back side and I do the same thing. So my good music's playing, I'm out here up close and personal with the chair and I'm doing one coat of B.O.S. just like this. Okay? All right, so that's that. So let's say I've done all of the small spindles, I've done the back of that and the back of that. I can put the tiny brush away because nothing else is up close. So then I would set that aside and I'd get this size brush, just like this, and that is what I'm going to use to start painting the rest of it. Same thing here, use what's in my lid, and this is what I'm going to use to start painting. Now, another trick that I want to give you is make sure you're very careful with your paint and that you don't flick your brush because you don't want to get it on your stained seat. So earlier today, I laid a sheet over this. You couldn't really get right up on here, but oh man, I got a little bit on the seat. Dang.
Hey, what was your answer about using gel stain over B.O.S.?
Dang it, babe. I need like I got,
Baby wipe or something?
yeah, can you go get, oh, shoot.
Where are they?
Okay, that's what I didn't want to happen. Over on that cabinet. I think it dripped or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Maybe there's a package of baby wipes on the left over there. Okay, let's see what I do here to get this off. I'm going to use a watered down brush and see if I can get that off.
People need to know this.
Yeah, you
Probably.
need to know what happens, right? How you do it. What happens. I'm going to probably just end up having to stain over that. That's what you don't want to happen. And I did that entire other chair without that happening. And I'm just like so OCD that that's driving me crazy. Okay, that's good enough. Good enough. All right, so back to the spindle. Make sure that you've got your chair covered and that you don't flick paint. You don't want to be flicking paint. And I don't even mean like big blobs. I mean, if you don't pay attention and you're just painting away, you'll get like overspray from your brushes.
Think they should lay a cloth or something over the top?
Well, I did. I had earlier today I had a sheet over the top. So I'm at an awkward angle here, guys, because, you know, I'm painting on live camera. But let me get up. This is the size brush that I use to paint these spindles. I do the whole front side, and then I get around to the back, and I do the whole back side. Just like that, okay? So I do one coat of this, one coat of B.O.S. over the whole thing. I end up with a brown seat and the gray B.O.S. on all of the chair. I let this dry. I let my gray B.O.S. dry overnight, and then I came back out and started my first coat of silk over the top of that.
Teresa wants to know, when using the silk paint, do you have to prime first?
You don't have to, but you need to scuff. So that's why we scuffed with this, and my chairs had already been scuffed. So you need to do some scuffing. The base of this chair has not been scuffed here. So what time is it? See, you can still see the shine on here. So this little scuffing pad, you would just do like this over the whole base of the chair. You just scuff it. Just take your hand around it, work it around it just like that. You see how it sort of makes it dusty looking? It just takes that sheen off. And these scuffing pads right here, these sanding pads are by Surf Prep, and Dixie Belle has these for sale on their page.
And it being so porous after you scuff it is what makes the paint grip to it, right?
Yes, that's what gives it tooth. And then you can just put silk right over the top of it. However, I'm not, because I had so much bleed through coming off of these chairs. I'm worried that the blocking primer that's in silk already, I'm worried it needs help. I'm not comfortable not priming for that reason, and also because these are kitchen chairs and people put their hands all over the top of these all the time. I really felt like I wanted to have a primer as well.
So are you gonna use B.O.S. on the bottom also?
Yes, B.O.S. is anywhere that you see wood right now, anywhere on that finished chair that you see endless shore paint was B.O.S. before. Everything that you see in white over there had a layer of B.O.S. underneath it. It's a layer of B.O.S. and 2 layers of paint. And that's that. I think, is that all I was gonna show you? Let me see. Tiny brush, 1-inch brush, 1 coat of B.O.S. and paint, and we're doing it. So that's it. I think we're done. I think we are done. Only thing I didn't get to show you was Gator Hide. Gator hiding, and that's it. But that chair's not ready. Oh, good point. That chair's not ready to Gator Hide. I let the No Pain Gel Stain dry for 72 hours. Excuse me. 72 hours before I put my top coat on it. So I will not top coat that until it's been stained for 72 hours. And so far, when did I stain that one?
Late last night.
Yeah, it's just been 24 hours. So I got a few days before I can start top coating with whatever top coat I use. All right.
That's it.
That was
Questions.
a lot to cover. Do we have any other questions?
Nope.
No?
Thanks,
All
y'all.
right, guys. Well, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you, Dixie Belle, for having me. I appreciate it. I hope you learned something. I hope you saw what an amazing difference the products can make if you just have a little bit of time to invest in doing it. The outcome, she's going to enjoy these for years to come. And I can't wait to take a picture of a couple of the chairs next to the table so that you can see the whole thing, and that will be on my blog this coming Sunday. So thanks so much, you guys. We will see y'all later. I am going to go live over on my page if anyone's interested. I will see you over there in just a minute.